Okay, thank you. Welcome to the Gunter City Council meeting. We are at 105 North 4th Street in Gunter at the Public Safety Building. It is Thursday, October 2nd. It is 6:02 p.m. All notices were properly posted. We do have a quorum with all in attendance, and we'll open up with our invocation and our Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, bow your heads, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we're thankful for the opportunity to meet like this tonight and discuss, Lord. We pray for wisdom and discernment, both corporately and individually. Lord, we pray for all the men and the women that they're protected, those who protect us throughout this entire country, locally and throughout this entire nation, armed forces and public safety. We pray for their safety, Lord, and welfare. We ask, Lord, that you continue to give grace upon this country and our city, Lord, and that we always keep in mind and have regard for those that are less fortunate, Lord. We thank you for all these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I protect the flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
I need them to not stop. Please stop making the flags. Okay. It's just a weird shift, and it keeps shifting, and just let's just move forward. Okay, so I have one person who has signed up to speak. So I'm gonna talk about how we're gonna do this, just as a refresher for everybody. The City Council allows citizens to speak on an agenda item. Comments must be on topic. Citizens may address the council, not the observers, for a maximum of 3 minutes. Comments shall be made from the podium. Please state your name and address for the record and whether or not you live in the city limits. The Open Meetings Act, Section 551.007 allows but does not require the city council members to respond. If a council member would like to respond, he or she will make a motion to be recognized to speak. As the meeting progresses, if you have comments or questions, once we begin deliberation and citizen comments are closed, you will have to hold them. Either talk to us afterwards, call us, or email us. We are going to open up agenda item comments, and I've got one person signed up, Mr. J.B. Sweeney, regarding the trash RFP. You'll come up to the podium and then state your name and address for the record.
J.B. Sweeney, Community Waste Disposal, address 2010 California Crossing, Dallas, Texas. I just came here tonight really to congratulate Alfred Services for being the recommended vendor. And I want to thank the council and staff for allowing us to be part of the RFP process. It's always an honor. Good for these guys. I say they've got a great company going on. They got a great story, like CWD. We're also a privately held company, only owned by one man. He started the company 41 years ago. First contract ever was in 1993, City of Euless, which we still service. 98, we started Little Elm, Texas, which was about 800 homes, which has now grown to about 16,000 homes. Still service them, just renewed for 10 years, in fact, 2 months ago. As I'm sure y'all aware, we're fixing to be servicing your neighbor to the south of Houston, Texas. So a lot of great things going on for some private haulers in North Texas. I want to again thank y'all for allowing us to be part of the process and congratulate these guys here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so nobody else has signed up either. Yes. So we're going to move on to agenda item. Number 3, this is the public hearing that remains open from the previous meeting back on, not our special meeting, but our regular meeting. And
Drainage.
oh, did I skip you out?
Oh, I don't know. I guess.
Oh, it's at the very bottom, yes.
Yeah, it says
No,
number
come up
2
and
and
give
then
us.
it goes.
All right.
Yes,
That's
yes.
why he's in the corner.
Sorry about that. I even handed you your printout for the printer.
Hey, I like where I said I can fade. Y'all are all there. Good stuff.
No, good
I know.
catch.
I know.
Good catch, you guys. Yeah.
Okay, just a couple updates. The only one that shouldn't have been the updates was the trash RFP. That's an agenda item. I sort of messed up. It's my bad, not Deidre's. I meant to just put the tree brush removal, which I'll relate to streets, so I'll cover it under that.
Yeah.
The tree contractor has spent the last 2 days cleaning all the brush in the downtown. As anticipated, once we advertised for that, more brush appeared. We sort of thought that might be the case. So I've ridden it with them multiple times and checked each day to see how it's going. It's going well. They will return tomorrow. They've been here 2 days. They'll return tomorrow for the woods and the bridges. So those two areas have not been. It was a lot of brush. I don't know what order it is. I'll go on to drainage. So we've had multiple meetings with our engineers over the last 2 weeks. Eric and Don Anderson met with TNP last week to examine the downtown drainage issues, which is being funded by the MDD. And we viewed the various exhibits concerning things like culvert flow, drainage channels, floodplain exhibits. They were informative, the exhibits, and we made some suggested changes to make the exhibits more palatable on a couple of them. A couple of them were they're interesting to look at. we were like, oh, we need to make it a little more palatable, otherwise some of them are a little scary. But they were informative, and what we've done is proceeded to tell them to go forward with Phase B. So they won't come to council and the MDD until Phase B is done, and Phase B is the alternatives. So that's where that's at with the downtown study. And then this week, is there a comment y'all want to make on that? Y'all are both involved. If you want to, I'll move along. Okay. This week, Eric and I, we met with Jenny Prazak, our engineer from Cobb Finley, to discuss how we're going to move forward with the meadow outfall and the northeastern portion of that flow study. We agreed it will begin in the fall. We want the vegetation to go dormant first. So that's where that is. When it goes dormant, they'll be ready to begin that study. We worked out all the specifics of how that would go forward, where that is in my budget, et cetera, things like that. And then we are also moving forward on the Broken Bow easement. We look to have the advertising to procure a contractor for that job. It should be in the paper it'll go to paper, should be within the next 2 weeks. And then once we get the contractor, that does have to come back to council for an award, because that's an RFP. So that's where that process sits. And other than that, as far as streets and signage, yeah, sure.
On the drainage, also, Don Anderson has scheduled a meeting with the owners of the event center.
Oh yes, got with that.
To discuss what they did previously from the FEMA standpoint, and then also their drainage situation on their part of their home.
That was a preview. I'm giving you the post. Okay, yes, we'll be meeting with the event center as well. And as far as streets and signage, we're moving forward. I mean, today's the second day of the new budget year. So we're moving forward with all the projects related to streets and drainage. I'll have a bigger update next time.
Thank you, Adam. All right, so now we'll move on to agenda item number 3. This was the public hearing that remained open from the 18th. We need to continue it to October 16th on this one, correct?
Correct.
So,
and the reason being is we have some annexation that needs to take place on part of this, which will be on the 16th before this one takes place. So saying that the annexation will take place, then the zoning right after it.
okay. Same thing with items number 4 and 5. These are both public hearings that we need to remain open and continue to bring back on November 6th.
We have to do them separately. You have to
open these. We've not opened these yet.
Oh, we haven't opened this.
Yeah, we have to open it.
Okay. I thought we did this on the last meeting because Mark was going to speak on them.
No,
I specifically remember that.
We have to make a motion to open it, and it remains open. That's why it says here on our notes. That's why I couldn't highlight it back.
I'll make a motion to open.
Okay. All right. So we've got William with a motion to open.
I'll second.
Okay. Wade with a second. All in favor? All right. That is unanimous. And we will continue that to November 6th. And so, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. And the reason is because we discussed with the developer, we just need to have more discussions on the terms of the TERS, and that gives us more time to work with them and P3 to get all the documentation ready if we continue to November 6th.
November 6th?
Yes.
Yes. This is on. So both of these are TERSs.
Number 4 and
and both of these are being renegotiated, so we will bring them back on November 6th. Let's move to number 5 so that we can open that
I need a motion on.
to continue it. Yeah, that's what we're doing now. So do I have a motion to continue?
Motion to continue.
Okay, I've got William with the first.
Second.
All right, Pat with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's unanimous. Okay, so we're gonna move to number 6. Discuss, consider, and act upon the awarding the request for proposal for trash, recycling services, trash and recycling services for the city of Gunter. You know, recently we went out, we did have 5 companies that responded, which was really nice. It's also a lot of work to go through. These are big binders of information. So it was a lot. We did narrow it down and.
Sorry, Mayor, we're not trying to talk over you, but, and I think Deidre's right. The first motion made by William and Wade would have applied to item number 3,
Yes.
to keep that one open.
Oh,
Then the one to keep that open.
and then
Then the
forward.
one from William and Pat should have applied to number
Okay.
4. So we need to go back to number 5 for one more.
Do the same
Okay.
thing for
So
six.
just-
Same motion. for 5,
Same
and the
motion.
Same motion. for
All right,
6.
William with a
This
first.
is different.
Oh,
No, number 5.
Just
We're doing the 3rd public hearing. For the rate. So William with the first.
I will second.
All right, Pat with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that is unanimous. Okay, so now we'll get back to the RFP. Sorry about that. Okay.
It's November 6th.
November 6th.
It was 3 to
We're bringing them
the
back.
16th of October. Yeah, 3 is to the 16th of October, and 4 and 5 are to November 6th.
Okay, so on the request for proposal, this item is to, we're gonna discuss, consider, and act upon awarding the RFP to Alfred Services and then authorizing staff to move forward with contract negotiations. And in those contract negotiations, we'll talk about, are we billing, they're billing, and then all of, sort out all of those things that we need specifically that are unique to us. So do I have any questions from anybody? Or do I have a motion?
I don't have any questions, but I just want to say that I spent a long time going through these binders and there's a lot of info in those binders. But I think Alfred, I wouldn't say it was hands down, but definitely by nose for sure. So since they're local, it seems like it's an even better choice, even if they hadn't won otherwise. So I'll make a motion to approve the RFP, go forward with that.
And I'll second.
All right, William with the first, Alan with the second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's unanimous. Welcome. Thank you. We will start talking soon.
Yes.
Number 7, discuss, consider, act upon approving the purchase of the FundView trash billing module, $17,450, and authorize the mayor to sign all related contract documents. So let me give you a little bit of information on this one. FundView is the system we use for everything. All of our funds are in it. It's all of our accounting, it's all of our budgeting, it's municipal court, linked to, payments when people pay online, go into the court system. It literally is everything. So to not use FundView, it would create some obstacles and some challenges. But I don't want to say that we don't want to look at other things. What I would like to do tonight, because we are not sure yet if we're even going to do our own billing this year. We may end up with Alfred billing for us, but I would like to go ahead and have this approved contingent upon us agreeing to do the billing by contract, and that staff hasn't found anything in the interim once that happens, if we do indeed take on billing. Now, it's not every year, it's a one-time module that they add to it.
It's just
And-
billing every year.
Yeah, it's $8,500 every year.
Right, so that would be the, moving forward, yes, 8,500.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and approve staff to look at FundView, but also leave it open during the contract to see if it's actually necessary and not to make the final decision on FundView until after the contract negotiations.
So is this approving the purchase in the event that we decide to do billing?
Correct.
Okay, I want to make sure. All right, so I have Alan with a first.
Wait, can
Can I hear the motion again? Because at first I thought you said it was only gonna approve. the
If
look.
after
That's what clarified
negotiations
it.
under the contract, if we decide that we're gonna go ahead and do the building to authorize the purchase of FundView to keep the system in check. If under the contract, we decide to do something different.
Well,
Then it would be a non-issue.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta get through the contract.
Maybe to clear that.
I mean, I'd like,
I could get on board with that if we amend it to, we just look into it, but we don't approve it. I don't like
Table,
contingent
basically table
approvals. If it's something we wanna do, come back for approval then. I don't wanna
I'll
approve
tell
it
you
now
why.
and then forget about it and then goes forward. We meet every twice a month. We can come back for approval if we need to.
We do. It'll take 3 months to build, and they were gonna go ahead and start if they knew that it was going this direction, not charge us if
Well,
we didn't
I have a
do
lot
it.
of questions about it because what is the benefit to the city residents if we're gonna get, if it's gonna cost us $8,500 a year, every year, plus
the initial,
approximately that again to get started? What are we doing that's gonna help the city out? What's gonna make the residents better off of that?
doing the math on it, runs us about $540 a month by the time we buy the module and run it for 5 years.
Well,
That's
we're
where we-
amortizing the initial cost of it.
Right.
And I'm saying, if you just ignore that, say we didn't even cost it, just say it's $8,500 a year, what's the city residents getting for it? I'd like to know what that is. Because if that's $8,500 and we've got, what, 2,000 houses, that comes to, what, $4 a house that we're charging?
But this is also a revenue source, so you remember doing all the paperwork and looking at
Again,
the
I just want to
numbers.
remind everybody, we're not a business trying to make a profit, we're trying to make,
Right.
we're trying to make the residents in the town pay as
Yes.
least money as possible.
Right, and
we need
this
to make
saves
sure that
them
they're,
money.
okay, well, I'd like to know how. it's-
Approximately, what was it, $1.60 minimum? Their bill
Yes.
would actually go down instead of going up.
Well, what I'm asking is, can Alfred bill them for less than $8,500?
That's gonna be.
Possibly, that's what we're
That's
working
what's-
out in the
That's, yeah,
contract negotiations.
that's why we wanna go into contract negotiations on it to see, and to see how long it's going to last. Is it going to be the first year? Is it gonna be the full 5 years? Are we taking one part of it, 3 parts of it? Because we have residential, commercial, and industrial.
Right.
And the communication right now is industrial because it's so complicated with
Yeah.
the tonnage, the collections, the size of the container, and so on.
And I
Residential
have-
is totally different than that commercial.
Just one thing, is obviously I've been involved in this process for a long time, it seems like. Wanted just to remind, one of the reasons was obviously it's front loaded, but the cost recovery is more than complete. Basically between the changes in charges, as Alan was saying, it will be a win for the residents. That I do guarantee that from what I've seen. And then it will be a farther win because obviously we will be looking at both franchise fees and the commercial fees. We'll be looking at both those potential fees to maybe come up with a solution what the amount will be. But one of the reasons we also talked about doing it internally was following Mustang, we wanted to be more in control of the process. So the people will be reaching out to us, so we would be the first line where we're dealing directly with the residents as a service. So just saying that, that is one of the components that was thought about with us bringing in-house.
I hear you, Adam.
Yeah.
I appreciate all the work you did, but I just want to know.
Yeah, I just wanna add-
know that when I look at those numbers and I can say, with no doubt in my mind, when somebody asks me, yeah, we're getting a good deal and it's helping us out because it means you're paying less for your trash collection than you were last year.
Yes, sir.
Or at least not more. And
Correct.
I
That's
mean,
one of the main reasons to put it out is so that we're not paying more.
Yeah.
But trust me, I'm not a fan of paying for this FundView module and
Well,
by
I
the
saw
year.
that it does a lot of things.
Until we can get through the contract,
I saw-
so we really know.
I saw that it does a lot of things, and if it means we've got a way to communicate with the whole city easily, well, that's great. But I just think it's worth understanding it completely so that everybody in town gets the opportunity to know what they're getting and know what it's gonna do, so.
William, if I might, the other component that might be beneficial to the city is when you do, this guy and I are working on getting an answer to this. Planner Boy and I are working on getting an answer to this. When you do text changes to your zoning ordinances, state law changed 2 years ago and requires notice written notice to go mailed to everybody. So if you've already got this water bill, or I'm sorry, trash billing, then that could be incorporated and save a lot of money on that particular mailing.
Well,
Also,
and that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
I mean, I see the things in here. I just want to make sure we know what it's worth, what we're getting. I mean, whenever we spend money, I want to make sure the town understands what they're getting for it. I don't want to just say, well, just trust the guys that did it. You know, I'm sure they did a good job. I really want to know what we're getting so we can explain it and articulate it to everyone so they know what they're getting for that money. But absolutely the ability to send out notices, it goes to everybody in town. That's a benefit. But those
Especially for those
we need to make sure we know
statutorily
all of
required
those
notices.
benefits, and then we can explain it to people. So I will second Alan's motion with the amendment that it's only to investigate, and we come back for approval once the investigation is concluded. That's 2 steps there.
yeah.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, why don't we just table it then? Could we not just table it, pick it up from the table later? The whole idea was to allow them to get started on the bill because it's gonna take 3 months. So delaying it will probably mean we won't do billing the first year because
Or
it
even
takes
the
that
first
long to
month.
bill.
I mean, if it
But-
takes 3 months, I mean, let's get through the contract negotiations. I'm sure
Right.
that the winter will be happy to help us out for at
Sure.
least 1 month or 2 months.
Yeah,
But
so,
let's get the contract,
We're
Before we find out what we
meet
need to
again
buy
in 2
for it.
weeks, we could certainly look into what we
Well,
want.
that's
to
what
look
I'm
into
saying.
in 2 weeks, and then
Right.
pick it back up in 2 weeks.
right, just table it, pick it back up. Or,
I'll make a
How do
motion,
y'all wanna do
I'll
it?
make a motion to table purchasing of fund view until after negotiations of the contract for the RFP.
I second that motion.
okay, that erases your first ones.
Yep.
So, okay, so all in favor of tabling it to the next meeting?
Aye.
All right, so that's everybody, unanimous. All right, we've tabled that to the next. Okay, so number 8, discuss, consider, and act upon a resolution with government capital to enter into a financing agreement for the purchases. That I'm gonna allow you to explain this, Adam, because I kind of felt like we had talked about this. I know you mentioned that entering into the contract, it doesn't affect this year's budget. It would
Right.
affect ongoing budgets in the future. So did we change the equipment that you're wanting? Because I
There were some
remember
modifications we changed.
Okay,
But
'cause-
yeah, no, the base equipment's still the same, but there is some changes.
Okay,
There's
so
a
tell
couple
us about
changes.
that, because I remember
Well-
having these conversations and y'all didn't want the previous, the previous, so what changed?
And I believe we have the council person too going to say something here because they have talked to me about this, and I think
Okay.
that's great. So what this is as you said, I brought it before the budget discussions with the intention that this would not be in this year's budget because the payments are a 5-year payment plan that starts the following fiscal year. The items are a new tractor. Our current tractor, the air conditioning system blew up, so it's gone, and the turbo is done. So some of the equipment here was not maintained well prior to me getting here. And I will say this, equipment maintenance is one of the hardest to judge because the prices these days are so expensive. So this tractor will have both, though. It has a front end loader. And if anybody wants to see the tractor, we parked it outside. It's not ours, by the way. We just borrowed it. The trailer as well. It has a box blade as well. So we'll be able to do road grading as well with this new tractor if we get it. And of course it has a bucket as well. So it's to replace the old tractor. I do anticipate the old tractor, we may get 6 months out of the old tractor because you can't use it in the warm weather at all. You can't handle it. But I do anticipate it will be salvaged. But we may try to get 6 months out of it just because there's things we can do with it while it's cool until it gets hot again. The trailer, the deck in the trailer, it's a 40-foot trailer. And so that is to carry both the tractor and the mowing deck behind it lengthwise. Because
I think that's what y'all talked about last time.
Yep. And then the last component was the truck to haul that. It's basically, I sat down with Councilman Perry and went over that. Operationally, right now we have, this would be our 3rd truck. So we have a half-ton Chevy that is a 4-cylinder, and it's not really made to do much of what we do. Anything. It will work in our rotation this year, that somebody can break off if needed. And then our backup truck will be a 2005 brush truck, but I really can't rely on that truck. We set that up for service. So this truck will basically be our premier service truck. It will be a crew cab, and it's a diesel engine, and you will exceed 10 years out of it as long as it's maintained. The trailer will last outside of 20. The trailer will last a long time. It's the longest piece of equipment we'll probably keep. And so this is the financing option put together for a resolution from council tonight to go forward with this resolution to approve this. There's still financing documents that would have to be done with the city after the resolution passes.
I want to make a motion for that we actually open up and have some discussion on this. There's some questions that I want to have answered.
Second that.
All right, Jerry, now, first and a second, all in favor? All right.
We're gonna
open for
pick this thing
discussion.
apart. We went from 150 to 180 to 215. I mean, that was verbal quotes before. We were looking at 150, then we went to 180, and now I'm looking at 215.
Yeah, the original quote was right. The original quote, I'll just tell you the changes. I can tell you what the changes are in those. The truck is a flatbed truck. When we had that, we did not. So when I brought that in, it was just preliminary for a discussion. That was not the document that I was passing. That was where it was at that day. I'll let Councilman Perry talk about the things he's going to ask. It's a flatbed truck. We did add a tow package, like a winch package. There was a couple options. We did put ranch bumper. Those were put on there. The trailer, the one thing we did put on the trailer was a deck on the trailer, so we can carry, if that machine, the tractor is on there, we can carry 2 machines on this as well, which is nice. But we have a deck. The deck was, I think, $5,400. It's in the invoice as well, and you can put your spare implements on that deck. So you're basically rigging out that machinery that you can carry attachments with it on top of the deck. And that was $5,000, I believe. The deck did have a couple improvements on it as far as the ramps, the hydraulic jacks, tow strap accessories on the side so you can strap things in. So that's why I said there were some modifications to it. The base is still the same, but there were some modifications to it.
So Adam, I mean, the money, I care about the money, but the bigger question is, what's it for? What are we not doing now that we can do when we get it?
We can maintain roads ourselves. We really can't do that right now. So
You're talking about the rock roads.
Rock roads, yes, rock roads. We can take which, by the way, last year we spent more money on rock roads by far than we did any other roads. For safety concerns primarily.
Did we spend more money on rock roads than this thing's gonna cost us?
The tractor or the entire thing combined?
Well, what's the whole package?
So the whole package is
With the new number, the current number is 214.
Yeah, the 214.
Did we spend more than 214 on rock roads last year?
No, we probably didn't spend more than 214. We probably spent, if you ask me what we spent, we probably spent about 150,000 last year.
Yeah, we didn't have
Do
to
we have
finance.
do we have to spend that every year?
No, but if you see in my budget, the blading is a constant thing.
Well, let me ask that another way. How many miles of rock road do we have, and how much of it do you have to do every year? And if we don't have this,
You have to do this. We were doing it. Most of those rock roads need to be done in like depending on the floods, depending on rain, really. But you really need to do them 3 to 4 times a year per road.
and how much does it cost us?
Yeah,
And
3 to 4.
we currently don't have the equipment, so we're asking the county to do it.
Yeah, they're blading the roads for us. Is
How
what
much,
it is.
how much do we pay for that?
It runs anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000 a pop.
A pop, we do it 4 or 5 times
We had
a
a couple
year.
that were 6,000
Which
and
is
7,000.
10,000.
Yeah, we'll hit that really pretty quick. And it's really a maintenance issue. Then we don't have to incur. If you remember what we incurred on Hunter and Kimberlin.
Yeah, that was a lot of reconstruction on
Yeah,
this.
because it reached that point.
Yes.
They should have been maintained all along. The other thing we do is we've got to mow the ditches. And so if you don't mow the ditches, your roads eventually become the ditches is really what happens. And as soon as your road becomes the ditch, the rock is moved completely off your road is what happens when the roads become the ditches. And so we do have to mow all the ditches as well. And that's something we're doing with the current mower. This mower is better equipped to do that. The tires on this mower are going to be flexed out farther. So it's weighted tires, has weights on it, and it's pushed out for balance. So from an incline standpoint, it's definitely a little more durable tractor. Councilman Perry looked at it. It's a late 24 model, brand new though. The new model, I think the base, what did you say was 130? It moves up to. So if we got the newest flavor, it'd move up even more.
So how much is just the tractor?
94.
94 and some change.
Okay, and then the one that we stopped was 174 that Gunter wanted a couple of years ago.
No, it's 181.
180, sorry.
I just don't see us having rock roads 3 years from now after spending $200,000. If it costs $10,000 to maintain a road, just having it, even if you send it out for the mayor can approve it because it's under a $6,000 expense. It's a matter of going out and saying, we need to get the motor grader back out there, let them tune it all up. I mean, right now the talk is we don't want to drive the tractor all the way across the county to mow the ditch, but we're not mowing it every day. It's not like we're taking care of the park.
Well, what I'm getting at is if we're gonna spend $200,000 and it's gonna be amortized over 5 years, that's $40,000 a year. Are we spending more than $40,000 with the county to do this work for us?
It's gonna be 50,000.
Yeah, we will to do it
I
right.
think the
Yes,
ILAs were 50.
we actually don't ask the county to do it as often as we need to do it. We just can't afford that level of service.
Yeah, 40, 50.
Well,
How much do we
it's
spend?
mostly timing. I mean, someone local can do the same thing. If the county's not available. We've got 3 companies that I know of in
Well, again, that's the same question. Can we contract out this work for the next 5 years for less than $50,000 a year?
Not the blading.
I don't really think you can, honestly, now.
I don't see Kimberly being a rock road for 5 years. If we start developing it to the point, it'll be put on a list. Lindsay may have it on the list 2 years from now to go chip and seal. Now we got a tractor with a box blade. The box blade is not designed for grading a road. It has hardly any ability to actually throw material back into the center to grade the high ground. That's what the grader's for. And you don't want to spend the money on a motor grader, trust me.
So, but the county has a grader.
Correct.
Yeah, the county's
All right,
great.
we can pay the county
And if
to
we
do it.
put pressure on the county and ask them for an ILA in 2 years from now to actually pave Kimberlin, we just got a tractor that now has nothing to do on that road and we got to move it somewhere else.
So again, my question is, what are we not doing that we'll be able to do with this thing that we can't get done somewhere else for less money?
Over 5 years period of
Over
time.
the next 5 years, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
There is another component to think about too, because Josh and Lindsay both have talked about like how they break up their precincts, and I think it's Josh that we don't even get next year because he's moving into like Howe
It's
and
really us to
Austin.
be more
So
reliable on ourselves.
Some of it,
to do
it's
these
gonna
things.
like more pile up on us for those reasons, because the way that they rotate around, we can't always use them for our stuff because they're in a different place. Like I get Lindsay this year, but I don't get Josh.
Yeah, they're
That it leaves a lot
you
of
don't
stuff
have a lot of
can't get done.
redundancy here. So all I'm saying is, right now we have a small skid steer, which this is actually more powerful than the small skid steer. So I'm saying, all I know is right now also when any vehicle goes down, like our skid steer went down twice this year, we can't even receive things like sign poles and stuff because I've got to have the pallet jacks, the tongs to get in there. So and like I said, we do mow. We mow a ton actually, believe it or not, this last year. We do mow quite a bit. And there's more we need to mow. We actually in the downtown area need to pick up, we got stuck this year twice trying to do it. We need to start mowing certain channels that if you're downtown, you can spot the channels we need to mow. There are some mow. We just haven't been doing those.
For the money, a skid steer on tracks with a front mower, you can even get a sweeper, you can even get a roller if you wanted to do the cold patching, you could actually put a vibrating roller on them. For the money, a skid steer is going to be hands down better than that tractor because we're not tilling the yard, we're fixing roads. But
So,
two skid steers, one as a backup,
yeah,
just going and getting a new skid steer and putting attachments on it, you're gonna stay lighter on the trailer so we don't get into the 26,000 pounds. Because that trailer out there is 18,000 pounds. We'd have to tow that with less than an F-150 to be able to stay with our license. Yes. I'll let Jerry take it. I'm stepping back. I'm gonna release the Jerry.
with that box blade, Alan, you say it doesn't mean, it can scrape the road, you can't really grade.
It scrapes it flat.
Yeah.
It does not
Doesn't
throw a
put-
pitch on the road.
Yeah, it's an 8 foot box blade.
Take it from somebody who knows the cost of a driveway and maintaining it.
Yeah, so, but if it had a grader, you would come out with a crown.
Correct.
Instead of a
And the
flat.
crown is what creates the water to go to the bar ditches.
Right,
And you can also use the grader to actually pull some of the bar ditch out.
right, so this would be a less than optimal solution for the road maintenance. The maintenance that we could pay somebody else to do.
In my opinion, yes. Okay, I'll leave it up to Jerry now. I'll release him.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, I'm kind of torn on this completely because, I mean, they, both Alan and William make very valid points here. I know in talking to Adam, the tractor that we have now is definitely, something's gotta be done with it, because even if you go down to the bare bones, just the mowing we do, they can't mow, half the year because of the air conditioning and, the heat of the cab. But if you've ever been in a cab that's completely sealed up with no air conditioning, it's very, very hot. You do not want to be in there. It's like sitting in a sauna. So that is a major concern. I know I've talked to Alan a little bit about, other options, like, the skid steers and different things. But I've got some fundamental problems with the three pieces of equipment here too that I just kind of want to point out. Adam or Alan's already kind of baked on one of them. This truck that we're looking at is basically 10,000 pounds GVWR. So it's a gross vehicle weighs 10,000 pounds. Trailer is 18,000 pounds. That puts us at 28,000 pounds, which is 2,000 pounds over the requirement for a CDL. There are options to downgrade that trailer to get it under the basically 16,000 pounds that you would require for the trailer. The truck, you're not going to change a whole lot, so you got to work with the trailer. But by doing so, you're still getting the 40-foot trailer, but you're basically dropping your axles from 8,000 pound axles to 7,000 pound axles and doing a couple of various little things. That's a concern for one. Depending on what you really want to carry. But I say there are cheaper options for that. Now, we're also put a pretty big add-on, $2,800, almost $3,000. Actually, it is $3,000 when you consider the battery and everything else. It's actually $3,955 to get some convenience of a hydraulic jack versus manual jacks. I'm not completely against that, but that is a concern. But it's when we get over to truck, we're having some problems, in my opinion, because we're looking at getting an F-250 that, the add-on for the diesel, $10,000 add-on for the diesel. I get that. Diesel engines are going to far outlast the gas engines, but we're going to then add a basically $8,500 flatbed. So we're going to take a perfectly good bed off the truck. It was like we're going to be giving them that bed back and then giving them another $8,500 to put a flatbed on it. So there's a loss to that. They're showing about, all in total is $22,740 for the add-ons between the flatbed, the wheel and light bar, the winch, and the red tent bumper.
Jerry, hang on, I want to make sure I understood what you just said. We're going to take a perfectly good pickup truck that we're buying a trailer to haul, and we're going to turn the back of it into a flatbed in addition to the trailer?
Yes.
And pay for it.
Yes.
And we're going to spend money to do it?
And you can put a gooseneck in a standard pickup.
You can.
You do not have to have a flatbed for the gooseneck. It's designed to go over the sides of the truck itself.
Well,
So
I don't-
when you're not towing the trailer, you wanna close the tailgate, you wanna be able to put
Yeah,
cold
you-
patch material in the back
Use it for other stuff.
and use it as a
Yeah.
bed. But no, we're taking that bed off and then adding a flatbed.
So why would we go to a flatbed?
Well, it's more of a service bed. If they use it for patch and asphalt, actually, the bed sort of gets in our way is really what it is. I'm not saying you can't do it, you're right. It's sitting in a regular bed right now.
Yes.
The trailer is in a regular bed right now.
Well, and the point I make with it is there's other options for the flatbed as well. I mean, you can have a basic, just a
Like, say,
basic
actually, use it
flatbed.
to haul material.
Or you can get a
And we can put a
flatbed,
bin
and
in
it's
the
like
back
a,
of the
what they call a wraparound, that actually has toolboxes on the side.
You have to put it in the truck.
Aftermarket stuff, you can look anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 for,
Okay, so it's not
depending on
really
what type
a
of flatbed
flatbed,
you
it's
want.
It's a-
I've been only assuming that we're going to kind of talk in here, which I would say is not necessarily.
Can I make a suggestion?
There's a lot of.
How about this? This is what I think.
Let's get some more clarification.
That's right. I'm like, why don't, I'm happy tabling this item too. Let me get with whatever council people want to get with me on this, and we'll work it and bring it back after we've had discussions.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
In the cab
Yeah.
chassis.
Yeah.
I didn't even talk yet.
Yeah, I know.
turn.
I know. It's like,
Hey, I still had other things.
Wade, I appreciate you for not having, at least on this one, a lot of comments.
Well, I haven't started yet.
Oh, no.
He hadn't started, he hadn't started.
Hey.
No, there's a lot to be said.
Oh, I didn't realize he jumped over here when he.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of things. Let's not look at Ford, look at Dodge. You know, you can go get McKinney, Dodge,
So-
City, whatever. You can find one for
Here's what I do
What's it-
know about this. This is under a government program.
Correct.
So it's a matter of there's more than one government program for us we can get competitive.
We looked at Sourcewell, just to give you a breakdown of how that works. Government competitive bidding doesn't mean
That's price.
that it's the best price, that you can't find a one-off and find somebody selling a deal. It means it's the best price they're giving to any government entity. Normally, it is a pretty good price. We're using both Sourcewell and Buyboard. They're very solid. So we're using Sourcewell and Buyboard. So from a pricing standpoint, I've done this for a while. Usually they're hard to beat. They're not impossible, but you can't go with the one-off because of procurement issues. So I have to go through competitive bidding. So these meet the competitive bidding standards. So just to give you just the background on that, how that works. But I'm happy to bring this back if you'll table tonight, and I'll get with individual council. I'll make sure, because I have the ability to do that from staff, and make sure we retool the item and bring it back.
Well, like, you know the list of the things I give you.
Yes.
What I was questioning.
Yes.
So you know how to handle that.
And I have the ability to I will talk to you all.
I mean, we'll talk.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so do I have a motion to table to a date, sir?
Let's table it till November 16th. Make motion to table till November 16th.
November, is that November? You already looked
Well,
up.
that was November 6th.
Sixth,
Yeah,
okay,
November
I thought
6th.
that may be what,
Sorry.
it's like the 16th sounds
Yep.
wrong. Okay, so to November 6th,
I'll second.
that'll give you time? All right.
That'll work.
So I've got Pat with the first to table
I thought the trash was the
to
top.
November 6th, and then Wade,
Oh,
William with a second. All in favor?
You're talking about spending money and making money. Which one do you think is really gonna be the tough one?
There. All right, so,
Redo the AC in my car right now.
Get you a new car?
No.
number 9, discuss, consider, and act upon the interlocal agreement between us and Grayson County for fire protection services. We included that in your packets, $24.14 a month. I don't know if there are any other questions.
I think you could have held out. Did any discussion happen on the fire district to restrict high density county? Because we got GRBK coming in on our flank over there, and $24.14 a month isn't gonna be much to handle the thousands of houses they're gonna squeeze in on those little lots.
Excuse me, can we get a motion in a second and then open it for discussion?
Yep.
Sorry.
I'll
That's
make a
right.
motion to go ahead and open it for discussion.
All right, Alan with the first, Jared with the second, all in
Let it rip,
favor?
William.
All in favor?
Repeat the
Aye.
question.
Okay,
Aye.
it's open.
Just as a point of procedure, normally somebody would make a motion to do something other than talk. and then
Yeah, it's a motion to
And then
approve
approve,
the
discuss.
ILA with a second, and now it's open for debate.
Yes, so
I misspoke.
let's go back and amend that to make a motion to approve, seconded for discussion, and then we can talk. So my question was, did we talk about amending the fire district map to exclude these high density things that are, so we're not responsible for servicing those?
No, we have not done that yet because that would have to come to you guys. You'd have to officially make that decision so that we could take it then back to the county to make those changes.
So currently, the county is expecting Gunter to service the entire fire district inside this map, no matter what kind of
That's
density gets put into it.
Yep.
Now, or even what that density is.
So I mean, like right now, it's what it was prior. They're gonna pay us $24.14 a month, which it is what it is. That's what was in the budget for this year. Doesn't mean we can't go back in and change our fire district, but right now, that's the map that we are responsible
So we
for.
have the ability to change the fire district later on.
I mean,
Well, I mean, this contract is setting the fire district, so, and for $2,400 a month, I mean, you could do my math in my head, what's that,
28 a year.
28,000 a year?
Spend more than that in gas.
Yeah, I mean, filling up a tender truck can almost buy you that. Unless you get it somewhere. So, I mean, the question is this gonna make Gunter subsidize county? Because I don't think that's enough money to cover what's gonna need to get done out in the county. And, the city will end up making up the difference in whatever it costs to operate the fire department to go out and do this stuff. Because every time you go out there, you gotta, how many guys go out on a call?
Captain Kramer, can you come up and speak to this one?
How many guys go out on a call? You get toned out, you roll out to whatever, you don't know what you're going for. How many guys go?
It depends how the call's called in, type
Six,
of call.
10?
Depends. I mean, it could be two, could be one.
Two?
Yeah.
One?
It could, I mean, there's different call types that require
Is
different
there an
resources.
average?
Four.
And how much does it cost to clean each one of those bunker gear sets?
$150 each time to
So,
clean them.
so you, just to roll out with your gear, you're talking $600.
That's only three
So-
calls a month.
So if y'all don't mind me, I think I understand where you're going, sir. And I think the key, I think we're all on the same page about the conversations that have to be had with incoming development, incoming MUDs, incoming density, all that type of stuff. The key that you see on that map in front of you is that map now includes our entire ETJ and everything interior to our ETJ. The reason that's important is because as those developments come in, we're providing services to those potential areas today, so we're the best person for them to negotiate the services for tomorrow. If we position ourselves today to say we're not going to, but you can have us, we're just in a different bargaining situation or negotiation situation. So part of what we try to do is position ourselves to be able to come to the table and say, hey, here we are, this is what it costs. As you increase that density, this is our expectations of you. Then, if they're not willing to meet those expectations, we begin the process of saying, hey, this coming renewal period, we're going to remove these areas from our response area. Really what you're seeing on there today positions us to be able to have those negotiations in a way that allows that conversation and be very deliberate about what it costs to really provide that service to each rooftop in our community.
And right now, those homes aren't here yet, which is why we do have to come back and have these conversations. Are we going to carve them out of our fire district? Or are we gonna work with them one-on-one first before we do that?
Well, it's kind of hard to carve them out if you've already made the fire district and already entered into the ILA.
But they're not here yet. This is just from this year.
those
So
who are
it was
here.
just to get us through, all Sarah wanted to do with the
This
county
year.
was to get us through one more year, per direction from Judge Dossie in the budget, was to get us, everybody remain the same for one more year as we have this cleanup phase.
Well, and I would highlight, and I'm sure you're very familiar with this, Councilman Stevens, on the vote coming in November as it relates to the sales tax additions in those unincorporated areas that are some of the areas that you're referring to right now. The key is, so let's just say they did happen to get a house up in that density area and they did in the mud or something like that, and they had not agreed to get services from us, etc. Come around October 1, we're proposing to you a different type of conversation. And I my commitment to you is that when we see, we've had the negotiations as a community to say, come into the community, here's the cost per person, per house, the things we're going to do, we'll be certain to come back to you and say, hey, look, we've exhausted all efforts, and we're here to talk about it's not going to work with them moving forward.
All right, well, you're talking about next year. I'm talking about right now.
Yes, sir.
How many times do we leave the city limits? And what does it cost us to do that? Last year, how many times did we leave the city limits?
Without pulling specific numbers, I'd probably tell you 300 times.
300 times.
200 to 300 times.
300 times. And we're going to get paid $28,000 to leave the city limits 300 times. Let's call it 30,000 so I can do some easy math. Like 30,000 divided by 300 is pretty easy, right? But we're getting paid. Let me make sure this is that. We're getting paid $300 each time we go out. Okay. And you just said that we just eat that up, just cleaning up the bunker gear, let alone gas and wear and tear on the truck and anything else.
No, that's not what I said. I think each call is independent of itself, and
Okay,
we don't have to clean the gear to go to the medical call.
All right.
So that's not what I said.
But still, I mean, it didn't sound to me, does anyone know if we're gonna end up losing money or making money on this agreement? Because it sounds like we're
We
gonna
lose
lose
every
money.
year.
So I
So if
think
we're losing every year, why are we doing it? Because that means the city
Well, what
of,
we can do right now
that
is
means the
say,
people that live in the city of Gunter are subsidizing the
That's
people that
right.
live in the county.
Yeah.
Why do we have to raise our taxes to continue increasing our budget and ask the people that live in the city to pony up more money so we can do things out in the county? That's not our problem.
don't have to.
I mean, we just told you guys, I didn't, y'all just told the whole city that they're gonna pay more taxes. And it's so we can do things like this. And it's not the city that lives, the people that live in the city of Gunter, it's not their problem.
On top of everything else now.
But I think, if I'm hearing correctly, though, I think this is something that really needs to take place just to get us to the point of having the conversations, to get the improvements for next year. The fact is, the rates are already set for this year, the budget is set for this year. There's nothing gonna change that.
But what you're saying, Jerry, is we don't go on and do another year of the city of Gunter subsidizing all the people around the city of Gunter. Like we're rich and we just got money to spend.
So what I believe we're actually saying with proposing this concept is that we know an election for an additional sales tax to help support this financial offset that we're talking about is coming in November. I believe, and I believe y'all do too, that it would be
That's counting
premature.
the chickens before they hatch.
No, I'm not saying it's going to happen, so we're clear. I'm saying it'd be premature for us to take action without an understanding of what's available to us in front of us prior to doing it. And that's all I'm suggesting that we're looking out for. We recognize the need to discuss the 1,300 homes coming in at County Line Road and Preston Road. We got to have those conversations. And very much I'm in line with you, Councilman Stevens, that if they're not going to come to the table and match what we're paying as a citizen in town, we're going to have some very difficult conversations. But my request to you would be to give us the chance to have those conversations with those people.
Well, what
to
I'm
get it
saying,
right.
let's have that conversation right now, because the city of Gunter continues to subsidize the people out in the county, and we should stop it today, not next year. Why continue asking the citizens, the people that we live with, why keep asking them to pony up more money to go out into the county? You want to pay more money to help the people out in the county?
How do you have a conversation?
Does anybody that lives in the city want to pay more money to help the county?
I mean, unless I'm missing something, I mean, how do you have a conversation about something that has yet to happen?
you don't approve this ILA, and then the county has to come back and explain what they want you to do, and you put some limits on it. Otherwise, we're asking everybody that lives in this town to pay extra money, which we already did, we already took it from them, and now we're gonna spend it on people out in the county. And the people in the county are gonna forever be, why buy the cow when the milk's free? I mean, I don't understand why we wanna subsidize the county. It's not like we're a wealthy town and we've got money to excess that we can spend it on. Somebody explain to me why we should subsidize the county.
So what would you want it to be, ETJ, borderline?
I would want it to be the city limits and nothing else.
Well, under our mutual aid agreements, would we have to rewrite our mutual aid agreements in conjunction with this county stuff that we're already talking about? Because we help support Tioga, we help support Van Alstyne right now, and Dorchester. So would we be talking about Xing out of those mutual aid agreements in this conjunction, since we're talking about that as well?
And I would encourage you to be vice versa. They support us too.
Yeah.
So
That's
what
mutual-
we're basically saying
that's
right
why
now
it's mutual.
is I understand what we're talking about by
yeah.
Gunter
We're not
footing the bill
saying,
for these things.
You know,
It's just
Tioga
whether
needs help, so
mutual.
we send them a truck, because when they know when we need help, they'll send us a truck. I'm talking about the people in the county who don't have a truck to send and never will, and they live off the largesse of everyone else subsidizing them.
Then I think you'd have to look at Van Alstyne's, Dorchester, and Tioga's border as well, to see where the overlaps are.
Right.
Yeah, because, again, I mean, I'll ask this, is maybe I'm missing something, but if we as a city of Gunter say, okay, we're not gonna accept this interlocal agreement, you know, we go back to the county, we say, we're not gonna accept it, the county can theoretically just say, okay, that's fine. We've spoke with Hal, and we spoke with with Hal and with, Collinsville, and that they've disagreed that they're going to pick that up, so we're just gonna cut you out
We'll lose our fire
completely.
district.
We're gonna cut you out completely, so now we're stuck with just the city limits. 3, 4, 5 years from now, the tollway finally gets open, or 10 years from now, whatever it is, the tollway finally gets open. We've now lost all of that, the potential. So now we can't even
What's
subsidize.
potential? What I'm hearing
The
is
ability
we're losing money.
Am I right?
So what, here's my biggest concern, and
If somebody else comes in and takes over
You're
our
losing
fire
fire
district.
Okay, but
well,
what's
it's
the-
worse than losing your fire district, you're gonna lose your negotiating arm.
Right.
Because today, we are your service provider, XYZ, MUD, and ETJ. We're your
And
service
because of
provider.
mutual aid, we're gonna
We
end up
can
out there anyway.
negotiate, we would arguably have first right of refusal to have that
Right.
negotiation with the way it stands today. If we turn around and shrink that down to just city limits, we are giving up the same people that we're collecting 0.5 cents from, or, right? As it relates to MDD and other components like that. What this does, it positions us to have that conversation. And the other thing I would tell you that is vastly different about Gunter, Texas than any other town in Grayson County. All the other towns, excluding Denison and Sherman, are nucleus towns, okay? So if you look at Tioga, they're all tight. They're in 4.3 square miles or whatever size they are. You look at Collinsville, they're a nucleus. You look at Whitewright, they're a nucleus. You look at Pottsboro, it's a nucleus. Gunter is already sitting at nearly 20 square miles spread out over arguably
Corners.
a very large space, including the thoroughfare of the Dallas Parkway. The point is, we're in a different situation than any other town in this city. And I think our goal should be, this is my recommendation to you, ultimately your decision, is to position ourselves to have those tough conversations, to say, hey, if you don't fall in line with what is reasonable, along with what our citizens are paying, we're not going to be able to continue doing what we're doing.
Well, I'm not saying position, I'm saying do it. Did anyone discuss this with the county now? Did you sit down with Sarah and talk to her about this?
About what?
About this $2,800 to $2,400 a month?
So that is derived countywide and told to us it's not a discussion.
Really?
That's a
Well, I'm saying is it ought to be a discussion.
I respectfully understand that, and I would encourage y'all at the political level, that's decided much higher than us at the operational level, and I would encourage you to have those conversations. But I would also
We've had
tell
those
you,
conversations.
that's what those town hall meetings are about right now.
When do they start having these kind of meetings per fiscal year? Does anybody know?
I think we started back in June or July of this year, when the commissioners and Judge Dossie began working on his budget. And what they were gonna do was take everything, I mean, we could have lost it already because Other cities do want our fire district. They want to come in and do this. And here's the problem. You've got Gunter, you've got your downtown in the middle. We have city on every single corner. So if you cut out county and we don't do this, then we're gonna pass it just to get to our city anyway, and I promise you with mutual aid, we're gonna end up there anyway, and we won't get anything reimbursed. So this is an ILA for this year, as Judge Dossie is desperately trying to figure out how he can budget for all the things that he needs to budget. At the end of the day, statutorily, they don't even have to provide fire and EMS at all. So that's why they're reaching out, trying to create this assistance district so that the sales tax can hopefully come in and take this burden off of all of us. Every city, we're all in the same place, like that's not enough money. Judge Dossie's like, I don't have any more. How about we just don't do it at all, and then we just won't have fire districts. We'll turn in, we'll service ourselves, the rest can just figure it out. But we're gonna get called and have to assist with mutual aid anyway. Why not collect it, give us another year, and let's see what happens with the election, see what funding's gonna be like. I think we probably, for control reasons, want to expand our fire and EMS district to have more control over it. Go paid fire, go even possibly in the future taking on EMS or at least contracting for it ourselves and not depending on the county to do it. So this is a temporary one more year to get through where we can start working on it, or we can blow it up and let it go and see what happens. It's a bad move, but I mean,
I'm still not understanding why it's a bad move. Nobody's explained what the downside is to losing a fire district, whatever that means. They cost you money every year.
Well, it's beyond the ability to negotiate. The way I'm understanding it, the way I'm reading it is there's a lot of futurity that you can't predict, and I understand where you're coming from, William, with today's problems are today's problems. But this, if we cause a problem today but not approving this, then tomorrow's problems will be even exacerbated. And then we'll be talking about why do we lose control again.
Just like the water.
So,
I mean, it doesn't, what I'm saying is, what good does it do to have the control of something if it costs you money? If you're paying money to have it, why keep it? It's like saying, I got this old car, and I love that old car, but I manage that car, but I have to pour $1,000 a month into it to keep it going. Why?
but you're also going off of the prediction of the same amount of calls to the county per year.
Right.
What if they're reduced? Then we actually
They're not gonna
make
be
money.
reduced.
Well, you're assuming.
I'm not
So-
assuming that the calls are gonna go up.
Well, the
We're
houses
gonna
aren't here
respond to
yet.
But let's just assume this.
we're gonna respond
If
to them
we
anyway.
don't take the $28,000 or roughly whatever it was, the $28,000 for the year, and we are gonna get called anyway, and we're still gonna go out there, but now we get
Why?
nothing.
Why would we still go out there anyway?
Because
We'll have to.
It's a
Mutual aid, you're gonna
have to.
cross county getting to city.
So what y'all are saying is we have no say in anything, and we have to force everybody in the town to subsidize the county because there's some bizarre network that's been built across the county that we can't get out of?
No,
I
I'm
don't-
saying we
So-
service our city and there's a lot of county in between. We're gonna end up going right past the county to get to another city. Mutual aid, are you willing to say, the call comes in across the street from the bridges, sorry, you're out in the county, your house is gonna burn down, we're not
I
coming.
am absolutely willing to do that.
But it
Okay. I'm not.
The city residents have
I'm
to
not.
pay for that.
I'm not ready to
Well,
say,
I'm glad you're not,
we're just
but
gonna let
you're-
your
you're
house
saying
burn
that the
down.
people that
We're not
live in-
gonna come and get Ethel when she falls off the porch and has a
It
heart
doesn't have
attack.
to always be the
Sorry,
people that live in.
you're
Let's
in
say
the
you
county.
came from your house to
If you
my
were
house
down
and
the
you went
street, we'd help
down
you.
Matthew Road and you got into an accident.
So
You want them to say, sorry, Will, we're not gonna come out and help you
I
because
don't
you're
understand
outside
this.
of the.
Was he a
thing."
citizen? Oh, okay, we'll come.
Yeah,
we'll
let
help
me
them
see
out.
your
The
ID.
thing is,
Get
this
this.
is not a good deal, and the citizens of Gunter are paying for it again, and again.
Yep.
It
And
is-
I don't
it
hear
is.
anybody
I agree.
going out and fighting for this. and
But
saying
there
this
isn't a
not
better
good deal.
solution today. So if
Until
you're
the
ready
vote
to
goes-
cut
until the
everybody
vote goes
off,
in.
let's
There'd be a
not do
better
it. We
solution.
lose our district, we're gonna respond anyway, because we're gonna get the call.
You have one of those, we have to just hold on to it. We've been doing it for how many years, Captain Kramer? How long is this?
Pardon me?
How long have we been in this, or doing this every year?
Since,
Since you started.
As long as I've been alive,
yeah.
that I'm aware of.
Yeah. So I
There are
see what you're saying,
solutions
but at the same
coming.
time, it's like,
They're
if
working
we
on
can do
it.
one more year, then maybe next year, it'll be a little bit better of a
We're
situation.
waiting on that vote
Well,
for
y'all
November,
are
might change
certainly
things.
confident about what'll get better next year. We're not doing anything this
Well, I'm
year.
not
We
confident
also,
what's
we could
coming
also be
tomorrow,
more
but-
engaged and start getting in the conversations come next June. So we could actually take that as an action forward and be more transparent for the citizens next year, is we can be more engaged and start engaging with the county earlier, so we can actually have a spot at the table for that conversation.
And we have, and we do. The problem is that the budget's the budget, and Dossie doesn't have it, he doesn't have it. If you can't give it to us, it's not like we're not getting it and other people are. It's like nobody is.
I understand
This
that,
is a
but
problem.
to speak to him is
Right.
with your problem, and I understand where you're coming from, but this is a conversation that we're hoping for, yes, but it's also, we can actually take action and be there at the conversation come June, and then if we
Well, who was
get the
there?
same answer,
Who was there for the conversation last June?
I was not.
I was, and I believe Captain Kramer was as well. I know Chief Logan was involved.
And y'all's recommendation is just keep on doing it the way we've always done it.
Solve the problem, will you?
It's a
I
budget
mean,
problem.
Here's the deal, if they weren't trying to solve this problem, and for at least over a year, Sarah is talking about the entire county with fire, EMS, it's a patchwork quilt. And you start picking things away and it just all unravels. That's what we're trying not to have to happen. So if you don't have the money, if they were just sitting around going, well, we just don't have the money, I don't know what to tell y'all, this is what we can give you, that would be a different story. But they're actually bringing solutions. They've been working on this a long time, trying to figure out how can we help. That's what this assistant district is for. They're giving us $3.2 million right now for fire and EMS. The county is pushing out to all the cities. A lot of that is in EMS, goes to Allegiance, but that covers everybody. And so all the cities are taking what we can get and trying to help. The good thing is, there's no more density today. So to get us through one more year, knowing that we're trying to solve the problem and there are solutions on the way, and in the meantime, we are having conversations. Eric and I had conversations with Commissioner Wright pushing a developer back to us, and they didn't want to pay for service. They're like, we'll just go. I'm like, good luck. We'll carve you right out of our fire district. And he goes, hold on a minute. And now he'll probably come back, or he's not going to buy the property because
I
he
don't
was in
see
the
any
purchase
carve outs
option.
on this fire district. I see Lackland's in here, right smack in the middle of it.
And they do not have it negotiated, and they know, because we are talking with
But I
Damon
don't
right
see
now.
anything in this ILA that says that we can carve out things without redoing the ILA.
Because this district right now is who exists right now. Anything new pops up, we do have the ability. Van Alstine did it. They just went back and said, this, and this, I'm no longer gonna do it. Put them on notice. We're letting them get on notice before they even build. We've been talking to Damon for,
Lackland ought to be Lackland ought to be out of this, and so should GRBK. Both of them should be out, and they should be specifically out in
and if
this
they
ILA.
don't come to us with an agreement, more than $240 a year per house, that's what I've told him several times. The city's not gonna subsidize your mud. So you either have to come in and pay what we pay,
There's nothing
or we'll
in this
carve you out.
ILA that allows for that.
They're not here yet. And they won't be before we do this and renew it. There's nobody here that this is gonna cover this year, existing right now, that we're gonna have to expand coverage for. But this time next year, this is a whole nother conversation. Then we've been working with them, with Gunter Crossing. Hopefully he'll come back and say, okay, here's what we'll do. Maybe it's not, there's a lot of ways you can negotiate this. Maybe it's a big one-time purchase, like we're needing the mini
What about
bumper. We need the
Hunter's
quints.
Ridge is not carved out of this.
Do what?
They to be included in this too?
Who?
Hunter's Ridge.
They are in it right now.
So,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
part of the
again,
county.
But it's high density.
I think it's less than 20
It's not
homes
the
on 1
lone
acre.
farmhouse out there that nobody ever
I
intended
know,
to service.
I know.
I don't see any
I know.
carve-outs and I don't see any provisions for carve-outs, so I would send this contract back to the county, tell them, no go, it needs more provisions.
Okay, they don't have any money, so that just, understand what you're saying, that means we won't have,
Okay, they don't
The
have the
fire
money, but
district.
this doesn't allow carve-outs. And the carve-outs need to happen now.
because you wanna cut out Hunter Ridge right now?
Yeah.
Well, I'm making a
Again.
motion to approve the ILA as it is standing.
Okay, Pat with the first,
I'll second.
Jerry with the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
All right, so 4-1, Lou opposed.
Sorry,
Number 10,
city, y'all are gonna pay for the county.
10, discuss, consider, and act upon an interlocal agreement with Grayson County for EMS services. Now, this cost us our portion to take care of the city, but then the county pays the rest to, we're not, on this, we're not covering, county. They actually, this is paid to Allegiance. This is just our portion, so we're covering the city. The county pays Allegiance for the rest, correct? I can't remember how much it was. I wanna say it's around $400,000. Okay, that the county pays into EMS.
I'll make
We
a
pay
motion.
40 a year.
I'll make a motion to accept the interlocal agreement for EMS services.
Okay, Jerry with the first to approve,
I'll second.
Alan with a second. I was just making sure there
Yes.
wasn't any type of discussion before I moved too
No.
fast. Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that's unanimous.
He did not vote. He did not.
Did you not vote, William?
I didn't vote.
All right, so, okay, so it's 4 and 1 abstaining. Let's move on to number 11, discuss, consider, act upon authorizing, for myself, Deetra, and Alan to be on as signers for the bank account.
So I'll make a motion that we authorize, Mayor Pro Tem and City Secretary, as the new signers on Smith Bank.
I second.
Jerry with the first, Pat with the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I didn't vote.
All right, William
I've
abstaining.
said repeatedly, we need a treasurer, and we keep making the city secretary act like the treasurer, so actually I'm opposed.
Okay, so
Looking
4
out for a no.
to 1, the motion carries. Number 12, discuss, consider, and act upon a resolution nominating persons for appointment to Grayson Central Appraisal District Board of Directors. They've chosen 2 that have been nominated. I wish that we had known the process prior to them sending this out at the last minute, but I don't know what you guys want to do. I don't know who Charlie Williams or Brad Morgan are. I don't know if you do, but those are our choices to,
Actually, we can nominate anybody we want, they're suggesting.
I've had people reach out and back out, so.
I have, yeah, same.
Honestly.
I just wish that we had known this so we could put their names, do this earlier and then nominate and see if other cities would vote with us to put our nominees in.
Well, they did it that way on purpose, that way you don't really, the cat is just out of control.
And they get their people in, who
This-
they
this-
want.
This
I
is,
nominate William.
this is the,
I nominate you.
sure, but you can get another town to put me in there, we can make it, but otherwise they've split it up so that effectively nobody gets anything and you can't nominate somebody.
Yeah, we would like to have known when we had a chance to actually do this.
That was fantastic.
No, me and Jerry can go, or me and Wade can go, but again, we have to get some other town to back it, because
Right.
otherwise, they're just gonna go through the motions doing what they did.
I mean, it's possible because it's due before October 15th, but that's a very slim window.
Yeah.
So. We can nominate our own, or we can approve or disapprove these.
We could nominate Monty over in Howe, and you get everybody behind that and put them on there.
You could.
Okay?
So, if you wanna nominate me, we nominate Monty, and then we can go campaign for the next 12 days.
2 days, yeah.
To get the rest of the, assuming the cities have a city council meeting, that they can nominate.
Better, yeah, where they haven't done it already.
pretty sure they're not even campaigning. So.
Yeah, they probably figured they got it, so.
And, yeah, that's,
Because there were 4 candidates.
Yeah, well, it's a 5-member board, 3 are already picked, so these 2 are.
Yeah, 3 are
targets
appointed.
anyway, because they're not gonna change anything with whatever the other 3 vote.
Right. Yeah.
It's a checkbox for form over function. Something else. Exactly.
Well, I don't have anybody to nominate. They're just names in the box.
William and Monty.
It's
We
a
can try
protest
it.
vote, it's a protest vote, we can give it a shot.
I mean, it's worth a try.
Okay. Make a motion for William and Monty.
All right.
Monty Walker.
Monty Walker, William
Monty Walker
Stevens.
and William
I'll
Stevens.
second that.
All right, so I've got
Harrison County
Alan.
President District Board of Directors.
I'll give Monty the bad news in the morning.
Did you sign him up? All right, so I've got Alan with a first, Wade with a second, all in favor.
Aye.
All right, that's unanimous. I like that. That's a protest vote.
It
But
is
you
a
might be able to pull it
protest
off.
vote. I mean,
You might be able to do it.
I would be really surprised if it went anywhere, but.
So with number 13, discuss, consider, and act upon appointing a candidate for Texas Municipal League. This is our region, Region 13, to the director's election. So you've got 4 different choices that were in your packet. On the information sheet, I did receive emails from them, so I'm assuming you guys did as well. I'll just tell you,
Was it DeSoto, Grand Prairie, Coppell?
Stanley.
so Mayor Wes Mays in Coppell, I know a little bit about him, and that would be my choice. If maybe you guys have read through their bios or met them at TML or had discussions, you might have a different
Yeah,
choice.
I researched them. Jaglowski and Mays were two good candidates. All of these towns are way bigger than us, so they're not gonna think like we do, but maybe, like Jaglowski and Mays both have been on for a while, so maybe they have a dim memory of what it was like to be small sometime in the past. Mays is an Aggie, so there's a plus. He's also a professional engineer, so there's another plus. Jaglowski, I didn't find anything from anybody that ever spoke bad about the guy, so, I mean, both of them would be good candidates. But I'd go for the Aggies.
Whoop!
Sure.
That's what we do.
That comes from.
Yeah, I was there.
So every time you say A&M or
Whoop.
Aggie,
Whoop!
You just lost this one.
All right, William, you're gonna be the one that makes this one.
I mean, like I said, both of them would be good. Coppell, Lancaster's a little far away. Coppell's ever so
Lancaster,
slightly
DeSoto,
closer.
those are next door to each other.
Yes. Grand Prairie, I mean, absolutely not. They're the ones that initiated that crazy lawsuit against the state that was never gonna go anywhere. And
Gene Coppell.
so I say Coppell and Mr. Mays.
All right, so that's a
make a
motion
motion.
for Mays.
Yeah, I'll make a motion for Mays.
All right. Got a first
Second.
with William, second with Pat, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's unanimous.
For West Mays.
All right. We're almost done. Number 14, discuss, consider, and act on any determining agenda items to be placed on a future city council meeting. And that reminds me, I need to get, did I give you the form, kind of like if you wanted to bring something?
Yes, she did. She handed it out. It was a worksheet.
Yep, he wasn't here.
I
was
don't,
like a
yeah,
checklist.
he might not have been here, but it kind of helps like you guys.
You can't go back in time and get it.
Well, you know, as much as I tried
I'll
to
get you.
engineering wise,
I'll get you the
still
form.
failed.
Yeah, it's a
Time
nice
travel.
checklist of things to remember to put together.
But it'll kind of give you an idea, you know, you guys are the legislators, not me. And I'm also not your personal assistant, so don't tell me, go find the ordinance.
Come on, Mom.
Go do this ordinance on such and such. I need, you guys are the legislators. I want you to do the research, maybe you can copy one that somebody else has, but make it, Gunterize it, and then bring it, and that way you've got, you know, like a little summary. What are you thinking? What are you trying to accomplish? Just a small little summary that we can put in the agenda packet. Give us some basic information, kind of start doing the work. Then, if the others of you are interested in what you brought, we'll vote to then, you know, push that through to have Courtney do all the legal stuff to it, bring it back for your approval and last, any other changes and stuff. So I think if we do it that way, it'll help us move faster, because I know you guys all have great ideas, but I need you to do some of that legwork. Wade's actually done that before. It's exactly how we did it. He said, I kind of want this. I said, can you help me and go find something that you like? And he did, and then we brought it back.
To be as prepared as Wade.
Yeah. And so it worked out real good, so I'll give that to you as well.
Just come back there.
Did we have any?
Well, honestly, I forgot to write my little summary of it. I'm going to do this anyway. I'd like to bring up to the next meeting, and I just discussed decorum at meetings, and what decorum we want, and how we're going to address poor behaviors or breakdowns in decorum. We've had a couple of instances of situations, I think, where things are said and attitudes are made that are probably not conducive or good. So we just need to kind of address that, see how we're going to do it, what we're going to do with it.
So we have Gunter City Ordinance, like public meetings, policies, but are you saying like maybe
Just a discussion.
A discussion to maybe address if we need to make a change in the policy, and if we need to add anything to it.
Mayor, if I might, we do this a lot for a lot of city councils, put together kind of an ethics, decorum, agenda policy that does not become part of your code of ordinances. It's just your operating policy. So if you would like for me to send you some examples, I can do that.
I think that would be really good. And then I'll get with Jerry, kind of see if this is what you're talking about, and then we can work together to bring it to everybody else.
Sounds perfect.
All right, anything else?
Pulling me aside, just chewing me out.
And he does that to me too, so you know. It's just tenacious.
The team of three.
Tenacious.
If we don't have anything else, then we will adjourn at 7:24.